Hey DC collectors, welcome back to a brand new episode of the show. Today we're taking a look at the McFarlane Toys Titans wave of action figures. Now there's 4 figures in this wave, which include Arsenal, Nightwing, Raven, Donna Troy. So let's start by taking a look at the packaging. As you can tell, here's the front. Nice window box. Lets you see the figure that you're getting. Back, top, bottom, right, left. Now that we have these figures out of the package, let's start off by taking a look at the massive amount of accessories that they come with. They all come with these black DC logo base, like every McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. Nightwing comes with the beefy torso of Beast Boy. Donna Troy comes with the arms of Orion, that's where I wanna be. Sorry. Wrong arms. These are the arms of Beast Boy, cause that's where I wanna be. Arsenal comes with these giant legs for Beast Boy. Raven comes with Beast Boy's head, which is a pretty nice looking head, sculpted really well. The hair is awesome, sculpted really awesome. Love those pointy ears, little teefies hanging out of the bottom. Really nice paint job as well. Thumbs up McFarlane. And she also comes with the hands for Beast Boy, the grippy hand, grrr, and the fist hand. They each come with a trading card featuring awesome artwork from your favorite DC Comics artists. Although I will say that the artwork for Raven's card doesn't exactly match with the action figure that we got. And of course, the back of the cards all feature bios about each character. So if you want to, you know what to do. You just hit the pause button and read it if you can read that tiny writing. Donna Troy comes with this sword, kind of flimsy and no real color to it, just plastic gray. You know, not as flimsy as some of those staffs, but still not the sword that I was hoping for. Arsenal comes with this nice bow. I will say that the bow is actually a little bit sturdier than this, which is understandable because this is supposed to pull back. I think you might get some nice shots with this bow. One thing you can tell, if you look on mine, this bow is actually the string is actually red plastic, but they painted over it with this gray, this matte looking grayish white color, because you can see some of the red starting to bleed through where it was scratched up. Maybe just shoddy paint job or scratched getting put in the package, I don't know. He also comes with this backpack. You see a little peg right there and a whole pile of arrows, although really weird that he doesn't come with an arrow to use for the bow. These are all tied together and stick in the backpack like that. Raven comes with her magic swooshy FX pieces that go around her hands or something like that. Yeah. So let's start off by taking a look at each one individually. First up is Nightwing. I wanted to like this one so much. This had so much potential, but I will show you one thing that really gripes me about Nightwing, and that's this filler plastic here. As you can tell, sometimes this arm can just kind of bump up, and then look, you have this huge gap with the hole right here. I don't know why it does this. It's like this filler piece had to be so big or used because the gap between the arm and the shoulder is just massive on this guy. I don't know why they chose to do this, but unless you keep his arm at this kind of length away from his body, it's gonna look awkward. And I wanted this to be my actual Nightwing that I just adored, and it still could be, but it does have some issues that I'm just not digging. And no, we're not going to go all into articulation like I normally do, but since I'm reviewing all 4 figures, I think we'll save, that can be done by lots of YouTubers, but I will point out a few things that I do like and I don't like. I don't like the kind of the smirk on the face. It doesn't look like Nightwing to me. The hair is kind of cool, but I don't like the smirk that he has. That's not very Nightwingish to me. The diaper just seems to come up way too high. Trunks, excuse me, seem to come up way too high over the stomach. I don't like that. They have improved on the original Nightwing that they released because the figure is not like ginormous. The legs look like they're in the same scale as the arms and everything else. So that's a plus. He doesn't look overly bulked. So, he looks good. Still, my thing is these filler pieces that give it that faux butterfly shoulder articulation. It's on this side especially, it's just awful. See how it just kind of, it doesn't even stay. It's just very loose in there. At least this one is sort of, stays in place. But if you move it back, I mean, look at that. I don't know. It looks weird to me. I'm not digging it all that much. Symbol on his chest looks pretty decent, I guess. Kudos on using the wrist joint here and actually painting it. That's kind of cool. I like that they went ahead and did that. You don't get that all the time. Otherwise, you know, Nightwing's decent. He's not my favorite of this line by any means. Not much I can say about this other than it's a decent figure, just not great like I was hoping. Next up is Donna Troy, and I think, honestly, this is my favorite figure of the wave. This Donna Troy is absolutely gorgeous. She is pretty cool. Does she have issues? Yes, they all have issues, and we'll go over some of that. But like, one of the issues is the little joint here for her elbow. It's a slightly different color than the pink on her, or the skin tone of the wrist, of the hand and the arms, so it does kind of look a little awkward, but I'm not going to complain too much about that. You can see her face. It's way too dark. They went overboard. Her face, they went way overboard with the makeup around the eyes. I mean, it even goes so far onto her forehead. It's ridiculous, and that could be overspray of paint or something, but that looks a little rough. It looks a little rough, McFarlane. The lips, perfect. They look gorgeous. The eyes look gorgeous. Eyebrows, gorgeous. Just too much darkness on her forehead. I could have lived with it underneath the eyes and down the cheek a little bit, but when it goes onto the forehead like that, it looks a little rough. Love the little design, the texture on the chest piece. I don't know why everybody has to have Aquaman symbol on their belt, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Love the stars down the leg. That is pretty nice, again with the Aquaman thing on the boot. Stars on her boots here. Another one of those things where they kind of fill in right here with the heels, because for whatever reason, I guess this is to make them stand much better, and it does honestly. It makes them stand a lot better if that was just a heel and a toe. So that's okay. Not my favorite, but I understand why they do that. All in all, though, a nice action figure. Really loving this figure, loving this Donna Troy. Again, my favorite of this wave so far, and I can go ahead and tell you probably, yes, it's the favorite of the wave. Next up is Arsenal, and again, I'm digging this Arsenal figure. Different than probably any other McFarlane DC Multiverse figure that we've had to date. I don't know why. I guess because maybe the baseball cap makes it look a little different. The tats on his arms look a little different. Up, got to line him up correctly or it's gonna look stupid. Boots are okay. The costume looks like Arsenal. Back the costume got some texture here. That looks pretty good. We're gonna put his arrows on. You can see he's got the peg here that goes right there, and it doesn't fit all that well, but it does make the figure pop a little bit more, just to have that added bit onto him. But this doesn't fit. Okay, it's snug. I guess it just doesn't feel like it goes in all that well. It feels like it's pretty loose, but it's not. Now, once you have that on, you're gonna have the inevitable, oh, I can't stand on my own now, I'm gonna fall backwards. So I guess to fix that, we're gonna have to put the bow in his hand. I guess looking at this is probably my second favorite out of this wave. I guess I don't know, we'll rank them at the end of the video, but still a nice looking Arsenal figure. Nothing really wrong with the paint, so I can't complain about any of that. Nothing wrong with the sculpt. He looks fantastic. Next up is Raven. Check her out. Raven is it's okay. It's not that great of a figure, to be honest. I mean, it's good that we have the Raven in the line. It's just there's nothing that really says, oh, you have to have this figure. I like the cape, the cloak. It looks like it's got some nice texture to it. She's got some really small arms here, like some of the smallest I've seen on a McFarlane figure to date. Just really tiny, skinny arms. Overall, I'm not gonna say too much about this because, you know, there's not much to her. She's not that much. There's not much plastic here to really even talk about. We'll get an up close look at her face. I mean, they did a great job on the face. Paint job looks pretty decent on this thing. I wish, you know, you could tell her hair's red inside of there. Hopefully they'll maybe release a gold label with the cloak down or something so you can actually see her head or her hair. That would be kind of cool. So I was trying to figure out how you put these things on, and there's a little hole right here in this piece. I'm wondering, I guess you just maybe pull the that off and stick that in. So it looks like, oh, look at me. Psh, look at me. It's kind of weird because you can see the black peg sticking in that thing. So it looks like she's just got like a flamethrower hand or something. Psh, psh. She's not Cyborg. So and maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe that's not the way it's supposed to work, but it definitely is kind of lame if that's what they were hoping you do with those FX pieces. So now that we've taken a look at the rest of the figures, let's build Beast Boy. Let's start with the head. As you can see, nice hole right there, peg joint right there. Just stick him in and give it a little turn and a push, and I think it's on there. Neato. Arms also have holes there. Big ginormous peg here. Hopefully it doesn't break. Cross your fingers. Yeah. And we probably need to take this off camera because I'm not strong enough to do it right here. Same thing for this arm. Hole there, peg here, let it go. So he's missing his hands. Look at those ginormous hand thing. Woo! You can see those pegs are pretty large. Let's see how easy it is to stick them in. Now, keep in mind, I haven't used any hot water, so I don't know how hard this is gonna be. Whew. Off camera time. Ow. I will say one thing that makes it extremely hard to put these hands in is this is super sharp, the hair on his arms. So when you grip him, golly, my hands are getting torn up just trying to grab something to get some grip on this thing to really push that joint in. So it's not in all that great. I mean, I can't pull it out easily, but it still doesn't feel like it's snapped in all the way. Time for the grippy hand. Whew, got those in. Time for the legs. You can see big hole there, big long peg here. Let's get her on. One thing you have to be careful about is you have to get this piece inside of the diaper. So you don't want it to kind of stick out and then you'll have all kind of issues. Hopefully we can make this happen. If I can do it on camera, that'd be great. I think that's got it. Let's try the other leg. Same issue here. Kind of line it up so when you're putting it in, make sure this back piece is inside of the diaper so it all works out seamlessly when you put it in. Taking a look at Beast Boy, like I said, we've seen his head already. His head is really nice. There's some really nice detail and sculpt on here. You know, if it were me, I would have put a little bit of hair coming down on here because it just looks kind of weird that it's so full right here, and then nothing. It's like absolutely nothing right here. Maybe just, even if it was just paint, you know, just little pieces of paint going up and down, that would have been something, you know, so it doesn't look so awkward, like just a hard edge between the two. Loving the feet on this guy. This guy's massive. He's like the DC Hulk. You know, as an action figure, he's perfectly cool. He's actually really nice action figure. Really fun action figure. Can't wait to display him with some of the other mega figs in the collection. You know, he's not what I want. I do want the gold label Beast Boy that has just started hitting store shelves, so it looks more comic accurate in my opinion to, you know, with the rest of these figures. But he also has a little bit of an issue with this filler piece here, with it being a little too loose. You can see you spread it and you start seeing the gap right there. It's like there's just a little too much space there. All right, so there is Beast Boy. So you can see how he stacks up with everybody else. And no, he doesn't look like the Beast Boy that you probably want, but yes, it is comic accurate. He is based on a recent run of Titans that featured these characters, and Beast Boy did look like this for a time. All right, so how am I going to rank these? Let's start with the bottom figure in this wave, and we're going to stick them over here, and unfortunately it's going to be Raven. Next up is the leader of the Titans, Nightwing, just because I so wanted it to be cool and that arm just ruined it for me. I wish that arm were a lot better than what it was. Next up we have Beast Boy. Again, a fun figure, but I think there's two more figures in this wave that just kind of outdo Beast Boy. And I love the Mega Figs, but maybe there was just a small missing place in my collection for these other two figures, so they beat out Beast Boy. Next up is, of course, Arsenal. He's a really nice action figure. He's one of my favorites of this wave, but he did not beat out my favorite, even if she did have a horrible face paint on her forehead, and that is Donna Troy. Ultimately, by far the best figure in this wave, in my opinion. Glad to have her, glad to add her to the collection. Something that's been needing in my DC Multiverse collection for a while now. All right, folks, that's it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this wave. If you're gonna buy this wave, which ones are your favorites? Hopefully this video helped you decide on which figures to buy, which figures to stay away from. And if I made you stay away from a figure you probably really wanted, I'm sorry. But if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content. I sure would appreciate it. You can check me out on DCCollectors.com each and every day. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook at DC Collectors, and of course you can find me on Instagram at DC_collectors. That's it for this review. God bless.